everyone, hope your week has been good so far. Coming up in News Generation today, young people in Ghana remember the over 200 Nigerian girls who were kidnapped a year ago. Kids in a community in the eastern region have a very interesting hobby that has been passed down generations. It's all about basket weaving. And children in Sierra Leone are back in school after a 9-month break. My name is Ifwa Harrison. Please stay with us.
News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitamin. You know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only Cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
Remember, you can join News Generation via social media. We're on facebook.com/News Generation GH. You can also find us on Twitter at NewsGenGH. Now, on social media, we've been asking you to tell us how your classrooms look like, and also, you can send a picture if you have a picture of your classroom. Let us know what your classrooms are like and describe them to us. We have something very interesting in store for you. It's a surprise. Now, 366 days. That's how long the over 200 girls who were captured in Chibok, Nigeria, have spent in slavery under Boko Haram. 1 year on, there are still no traces of where the girls are, their parents, and the whole world is worried about what may be happening to them. Some of you are equally anxious about this issue.
Exactly a year ago, 219 girls in Chibok, northern Nigeria, were kidnapped. The terrorist group Boko Haram took responsibility for the abduction. Leader of the group, Abubakar Shekau, announced that many of the girls had been married off after converting to Islam. Protesters around the world have vowed to remember the girls. In Ghana, a vigil was held in their memory. The procession with 219 girls was held in Nigeria. Each girl represents the 219 girls missing. The abduction caused global anger, with world leaders showing interest in helping to find them. Hashtag Bring Back Our Girls generated over 1 million tweets, including tweets from US First Lady Michelle Obama. Many across the world have criticized the Nigerian government for showing little concern in finding the girls.
I want the previous government to, in collaboration with the UN and the AU, to come together and solve the situation.
Most of the governments are not doing anything about it. So I think as we, the students, they should help themselves by putting their heads together so that they might find a way to escape from them.
I think they should tighten their security, and they should also ask for foreign aid from other countries so that they'll help find the girls.
Nigeria's president-elect, General Muhammad Buhari, says he will do everything in his power to bring the missing girls home, but said he cannot promise they can be found.
And the hashtag Bring Back Our Girls campaign is still on. Please share your thoughts about the missing girls with us on our Facebook page. Now, some students of the Kibi Senior High School, Technical Senior High School actually, have been going into the WASI exam hall 30 minutes late for each paper so far. This is because their school fees have not been paid, so the headmaster lashes them before they are allowed to write. Here's what you think about what these students have to go through.
I think lashing them will make them confused when they go and sit at the exams hall. So it's not necessary to lash them. They should give them some time to pay the money. And the 30 minutes will not help, because this time Ghana, it's not easy to get money, so they should give them some time to write.
So be going through pains, and whilst they are writing exams, like for maths like this, you have to focus on the maths and you have to write it perfectly. But for them to be lashed and left outside for 30 minutes, it's like losing the exams already. Nobody will take you because you'll not be able to write anything. And I think they should write all the exams, and when it comes out, when the result comes out and the students are coming for their papers, I'm sure they'll bring their papers.
I think about the students a lot, because when it's time for them to learn and go and write their WASI, they learn a lot. So if they are not given the chance to write their WASI or their exams, and they are keen before they enter, or they allow the students to sit down for about 30 minutes before it affects them a lot, because when some of them are being keen, they cannot think or reason fast as they used to reason.
I think that they should not cane the students, because when they cane them, they feel the pains, and this makes them uncomfortable to write the exams.
It's not good. It's not good because 30 minutes before they start the exam, it's not good, because they have studied and they are well prepared to write the exam. So they should reason to know that the students have studied, so they have the capability to write the exam.
Your views on WhatsApp. Now, Ghana has received a portion of a $918 million loan from the International Monetary Fund. I'm sure you've been hearing all about it on the radio and on the news. This is a lot of money, but the country needs it because there isn't enough money to support projects. Shay tells us more.
It's a kind of monetary fund that offers help to other people who, in terms of economic help, like in terms of when you need money, can go and ask them.
It's an international monetary fund that is helping Ghana with their monetary crisis.
That is what some of you know about the IMF. Well, the International Monetary Fund is a large financial institution with the headquarters based in the United States of America. The IMF gives loans to countries and companies that need help. Ghana owes a lot of money, and debt has been rising. The country owes about 70 billion Ghana cedis. That means the country spends more money than it actually has. The situation is made a lot more difficult with the weight of the cedi against major currencies like the US dollar, the euro, and the British pound sterling. You will need about 3 cedis, 87 pesos to get $1. That means prices of goods and services increase every day. The $918 million loan from the IMF will be divided into 3 and given to Ghana over a 3-year period. But a deal with the IMF involves more than just a loan that is to be paid back. There are certain rules the country must also obey. The rules are known as conditions, and these include freezing employment in the government sector. Some people fear that will worsen unemployment in the country.
I think the freezing of unemployment is a very big problem in Ghana. So therefore, if we go to the IMF and then the freezing of the unemployment is going to be a very big problem.
If workers are not employed, young people will engage in armed robbery.
The employment aspect wouldn't help the graduates that are coming out from schools. So we should be able to work on that.
As part of the loan agreement, government will not reduce the prices of fuel and utilities, including water and electricity bills. This means Ghanaians will have to pay the full cost of fuel prices and utility bills. The government cannot also go for any more loans till the end of 2017.
I think it's a very big problem that comes along with it. So we should just forgo it and then manage our own economical problems. There are a lot of other ways you can go about it other than going for the loan.
Ghana should learn to utilize her own resources in order to provide for her own needs, so that we can avoid going for this fund. Because when Ghana goes for the fund, like the employment issue, like people, there will be people who have graduated and will be at home without any work to do.
Well, we hope we've told you a little bit more about the IMF bailout loan that Ghana has gone in for from the International Monetary Fund. Remember, you can always share comments or ask us questions on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. Well, still to come, we feature a community in the eastern region where basket weaving is all the craze for the boys who live there. After this.
You know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
And welcome back to News Generation. Now, we feature a community in the eastern region where basket weaving is a talent the boys there cannot live without. They weave baskets of all shapes and sizes to sell.
It's a Saturday morning at Kwabonta, Obolu, a farming community in the Karabwa-Kota district of the eastern region. These young boys are cutting palm branches. They are going to weave baskets from them. Basket weaving is a part of their upbringing. The skill has been passed down from the older generation. It is what sets them apart from other farming communities in the area. Weekends are special days for these young boys who take some time off school to do what they love best. With their sharp cutlasses and knives, they slice the palm branches into smaller sizes to be able to weave the baskets. The fleshy parts of the palm branches are peeled off, leaving the hard portions. This is what they will use. The time it takes to weave a basket largely depends on the shape and size of the basket. In the midst of these young boys is 19-year-old Odebi Kabute. Odebi cannot talk or hear. Despite his disability, he's an expert basket weaver. He goes about his work with poise and grace. He used to go to school but dropped out of school when he was in class 4. For Davy and his friends, basket weaving is an opportunity to buy some personal items.
He has been able to buy shirts, footwear, pomade, and spray from the sale of baskets.
I started weaving basket 3 years ago. I have benefited a lot from this art. I have bought school books and other learning materials from it.
My father who taught me how they do.
I use some to buy shirts and sandals.
My father taught me, and he taught me 3 years ago. I just buy school uniform, sandals, and some school bags and a lot of things.
Although basket weaving seems fun, there can be accidents.
When you are doing, maybe knife can cut you, just like that, and the basket, the weave can also hurt you.
Sometimes I get injured by the sticks.
Can tell you the 1 2 boys no for one dream no be ambassador with me prepare no say me na be basa on share.
If you don't take care when weaving, you can sustain cuts in your palms. It can be dangerous at times.
Actually, when they were on FM, and they are dangerous. I bet my proud at any time.
They have learned some valuable life lessons from basket weaving.
Yes, I know my baby. If you say Abrabon, they are difficult now. And yet the bear, I bet my band say, bet my man can tell to the bear, to the bear. You see, until you see time, and I did.
We do our things according to time, as we sometimes go to the farm and learn as well. The market women order for a specific number of baskets, so when they come and they are not ready, they get angry at times.
After hours of weaving, this is the result. The boys will sell them to the market women.
So that was Eric Jessioting's story from a community in the eastern region where the boys there, weave baskets and sell on the weekends. That looked very, very interesting. I'm gonna maybe join Eric on one of his trips there and maybe go learn how to weave some baskets. Let's now go to Sierra Leone, where pupils are back in school after 9 months. Their schools were closed down because of the Ebola outbreak. Now the pupils have had a tough task ahead as they have to make up for the time they lost in school.
For 9 months, schools in Sierra Leone closed and pupils stayed home due to the Ebola outbreak. They are back now, at least some of them are. UNICEF has trained 9,000 teachers in Ebola prevention and has supplied washing facilities to every school. Pupils and teachers have a lot to do as they have to make up for lost time.
It's good to be back in school, but in another way, it's not good at the same time. Because we've been sitting home for a very long time and without doing anything actually.
For a long time, and this Ebola make that they postpone the exam and they expect for come with good results.
It is unfair in things like that anyway.
Okay, we are happy because we have sit at home for a long time now.
Honestly, to be sincere, from my own part, I'm not really prepared.
Sierra Leone is the last of the 3 countries worst affected by the Ebola virus to reopen schools.
There's still more News Generation to come after this.
You know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
And you're welcome back to News Generation. Now we have some more stories for you on the local front, some entertainment news and some international and of course sports news. Let's have a look in News Round.
Pupils of Ziavilome EP Primary School study in some very poor structures. Some of their school structures were built over 40 years ago and are decaying. Portions of the front ceiling are also falling off, posing danger to the pupils. Reggae dancehall artist Stonebwoy won the Artist of the Year at the Ghana Music Awards. He also won the Reggae/Dancehall Artist of the Year and the Reggae/Dancehall Song of the Year for his song Bafira. The United Nations Refugee Agency has warned Kenya not to sack Somali refugees in response to Al-Shabaab's massacre of students. Kenya has given UNHCR 3 months to close the Dadaab refugee camp, which houses 350,000 Somali refugees. The Kenyan government believes Al-Shabaab militants who killed 148 people at Garissa University hid in the camp. The agency warned that the camp's closure would have extreme humanitarian consequences. American Jordan Spieth equaled the lowest winning score in Golf Masters history to win his first major. The 21-year-old shot a final round 2 under par 70 to finish 4 shots ahead of England's Justin Rose and 3-time champion Phil Mickelson. Spieth, who dominated all 4 days of the major, equaled Tiger Woods' winning score when the former world number 1 won his first green jacket in 1997. A top chess champion is facing a 3-year ban after being accused of hiding a smartphone in a toilet during a match and using it to cheat. Gios Nigalije from Georgia was thrown out of the Dubai Open tournament after his opponent complained about the number of times he was going to the bathroom. The player, who is a grandmaster of chess, was then accused of using a smartphone hidden inside a toilet roll to check his moves. Nigalije is accused of using an app on social media to test out which would be the best move to make the next and how to win. It's thought he was using the same toilet cubicle for up to 10 minutes a time. He is a current reigning national champion in Georgia and ranked 400th in the world. A specially designed Italian coffee machine is on its way to 6 astronauts at the International Space Station. The espresso maker, dubbed iEspresso, ISS standing for International Space Station, will let astronauts brew coffee, tea, or other hot beverages for those long space days.
Fancy a quick help who does all the cooking? I sure do. A robotic chef named RoboChef has been catching lots of attention at a tech fair in Germany. Here's why.
The model for an all-action robot chef has been revealed in Germany. The high-tech cook can chop ingredients, mix food in a pan and do the washing up afterwards. The robot chef learns how to perform kitchen duties by capturing the movements of a human in the action of preparing a meal. These movements are then turned into commands that drive an intelligent pair of robot hands. But the product is still 2 years away from being available to buy in shops.
And finally, before we go, I have a message here from Chinelo Ikwankam Rosemary. She is responding to our post on what her classroom is like. You didn't send us a picture though, but she says, my classroom is very neat and well equipped, and it makes the students learn because a dirty classroom affects the way the child dresses to school and also reduces the skill of a student and the learning skill of a student. So every school should please try to maintain and equip their classrooms. It is good. So those are just a few of your comments coming in on social media. That one is from Chinelo Ikwakam Rosemary. I hope you're doing well. Tell us, are you writing to us from Nigeria? We know we have some fans in Nigeria, but that's all time will allow us for this edition of News Generation. Until next time, have a good rest of the day. Bye.
News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.